believe we peaked in the 90s. Come on, come on, come on, prove me wrong. Tuck your friendship bracelet back in your shell suit sleeve. Come on back in time with me.
Fiddleigin, and hello, it's Vo, and welcome back to Project Zomboid. Our man's woken up bang on 6 o'clock. That's what we want. Bed at 10, up at 6. Any earlier than that and we're in darkness. Our options are limited about what we want to do. Good if we can get into the rhythm. The best time of doing exercise to try and gain some extra fitness is 11 o'clock. So then the pain from doing the exercise will kick in at about 1 in the morning. You'll be well asleep by then. You'll just sleep through the pain. You've got to remember to do it at the right time. You want the pain to all be subsided by the time you've woken up again the next morning. You've got to be disciplined in the apocalypse to stay alive. Can't relax too much. Have to stay on the move. We'll naturally be working on our strength when we're battling the undead, using melee weapons. And when we're overloaded, we're straining ourselves, trying to rush and carry loads of things. That gets you a little bit of strength as well. But without doing a lot of unnecessary running around. Not gaining much passive fitness. Thankfully not being exerted too often. And not having to worry about that sort of thing. Fighting well exerted, I think perhaps gets you a little bit of fitness. I think Ramos, his best way to gain any fitness XP is going to be after jogging away from a horde, which is unlikely, but not out of the question. Or getting into some exercise, doing some squats. That's a medium to long-term thing. You have to do it regularly before you start getting the XP. There's a bar to fill it up. Just got to get in the good habits for long-term survival. Get some more metal disassembling these filing cabinets. They never seem to have anything exciting in them. It's the same old things. Stationery and things that we're really not going to need. Yeah, different types of containers tend to have different types of loot. Different loot tables, you know. Yeah, we'll work our way through these houses. We've just nipped into the kitchens of. To raid their fridges and freezers. Yeah, hopefully get some more media for our collection. Our ever-growing VHS collection. Hopefully we're not just getting duplicates. I'm sure they're pretty random. There are home VHS, which I think are unique. Yeah, you could go around every container in the map and try and find them all. That'd be something you could try. But the task of getting to every container on the map, yeah, I can't explain how big the map is. Yeah, we're just exploring quite a small percentage of it, covering the entirety of Riverside and some of the rural areas around it. Yeah, it's not a large percentage of the entire map. Even if you did 24-hour days, it would take you a very long time. Probably multiple years to get round. And with the next build, they're going to be adding even more. So you have even more little towns and houses, containers to raid. So as always, we take our wood from our disassembled furniture, turn it into base building materials, get the roofing done, cook up some food, got some stale chicken. I think if we wait till it cools down, it might make us feel bored or sad. I think if we eat it just roasting, straight out the oven, it's not so bad. Right. He's nice and full, but he's a little sad that he's eating stale chicken in the apocalypse. Yeah, comics, hotties, these sort of things can help with some of the noodles. Ciggies, and he's done. Remember to turn off these lights when we place them. We can craft the battery connectors, power them that way. Good way that we can still see what we're doing without having to rely on the generator and keeping it full. We'll probably never need the long-term food. But we're going to take it all anyway. Going to hoard it. Just in case people appear and we need to trade them supplies. We have more survivors that we find that we need to feed. Neither of which will happen, but he doesn't know that. Got a plan for every eventuality. Get all the loot that we deem useful. Make sure we've got it all back at the base. Keep on disassembling things. Getting XP while we're getting materials. Which again we'll take back to the base. Need lots of metal sheets for the exterior walls. So we can have our box in a box in a box. Make him feel super safe when he's sleeping. Can add escape ropes over the side. Can make that from ropes. Or from sheet ropes. There are plenty of ropes to find. I think we'd rather use that. Seems more sturdy. It's all made from sheets. Don't think I would trust 2 sheets tied together to hold my weight. But I'm sure I'm significantly more than 80 kilos or whatever. I'm sure I probably weighed that when I was about 15. We'll go around and scoop up all the stuff. Do have a few more books and things that we need. Our skill books. And some of the magazines are useful, even if we're just curing boredom. So we don't use up all the VHS. Save them for rainy days. Or little treats. The skill ones we can watch. The life and living ones if we haven't already seen them. Yeah, rope is relatively common. We can have plenty of escape ropes over the side walls of the base. These houses are the nicest ones around in Riverside. None of them are bad for setting up a base. Especially when you first start playing the game. You feel attached to the house that you spawn in, like... It's good for roleplay as well. It depends on the house that you spawn in. If you spawn in a trailer, you're going to want to go and steal somebody else's house pretty much immediately. Because they're hard to defend. Yeah, these houses are none too shabby. Any of them make a good choice. I do like the one right at the end of the top street. Sort of northeastern one. I believe they all have the fireplace that would keep you all through winter. Not sure you would get cold enough that you would need to sit right next to it when you're inside. You'd be wrapped up in presumably a couple of layers of clothes by that point. If you're surviving until the winter time, then I'd like to think you had all the stuff you needed. I don't think it would get that cold in a house, but I don't know. I've never survived that long myself. Yeah, big plans. When you start out like, yes, I'm going to survive for a whole year, so I better think about all these things that are real long-term things. While you're working on something silly, then you get crept up on, and it's all over. You've survived 2 weeks or something. Yeah, big plans of surviving forevermore. Yeah, 100 days seems to be the target for people's playthroughs. Seems reasonable. Playing with 6-hour days, it's something like much longer, really. If you were just playing 1-hour days, yeah, it would be more like a year in comparison. But I don't know, because some of the things seem relative to the 6-hour time thing, and some things don't, you know. Yeah, not quite sure about the mechanics of that. But we've certainly got more time. Yeah. Another one down. Not creeping up on us. Yeah, we've certainly got the time to take it slow. And go around and check absolutely everything. Not be pressured by time. I do think when you're playing the 1-hour days, it's not enough It's not enough time, basically. You can't really get anything done because you're having to really prioritize things. And you're a slave to the sort of time schedule. With the water and power going off. You've got to find a generator, you've got to find the generator magazine. You've got to set up a decent base, you've got to get the food. You're just running around trying to do all these things at once. And you're more running from the zombies rather than trying to take them on. Whereas when you slow things down, seeing a big group of zombies is an opportunity to get rid of these guys for good, so they can't slowly migrate their way over to your base and give you a shock one day. Yeah, more time to make decisions, employ better tactics about how to take fights on. More time to gather the materials, the tools, and all the things that you're going to need. All the reading materials, and hopefully a decent bag and some decent armor and clothing. Yeah, it's such a rush when you're doing 1 hour days. When you extend it out and do some more, it feels great. Suddenly giving yourself more time to do everything. Trust me, you'll appreciate it. 6 is maybe too much. 4 is maybe too little. 5 is probably right in the middle. I'll try 4 next and see if it feels like it's not enough time. Get another level of carpentry. Must be getting close to finishing that skill off. And he finishes one of the skills, maxes it out, and we'll get a mod as a little treat. Probably be something not very flashy or exciting. Do you want to get the one where you can sit down on the chairs and lay down on the beds? It sucks that they have to just sit down next to the chair and not sit down in it. Cook up some more stale food. We've got ground beef and we're allowed to make it into burgers. Probably because we have the right knife or whatever on us. Sometimes you won't have the same options. Certainly looked for that option before and not had it. So it's probably just the weapons I had on me at the time. Yeah, the game doesn't tell you much. You've got to just sort of discover it. The best way is by having a whole bunch of stuff in your inventory and right-clicking on it, or clicking on it, you know. And sometimes you'll get more options than not, you know. That's how you discover sort of new combinations of things and recipes and new things that you can do. Like in this instance. Because we've leveled up trapping, we have options about what we can build. And because we have the right tools and materials, gives us the options available. And that's how I've found most things out that I can do. So we're going to pop down some traps. We're across the way between the houses off to the west and the base. We're about 50 tiles away from the bedroom. I'm hoping that's where we're supposed to be. Yeah, we can try a few different areas if it's not far enough away. But the idea is that they're only going to turn up and maybe take the bait and get caught in the trap if we're not disturbing them and disturbing the area. So we've got to be far enough away in the base or off doing things for the traps to get triggered and for us to potentially catch some rabbits. So have a bit more meat on them than the rodents we're catching in the mouse traps. Yeah, he's getting a little bit sad from eating stale burgers. Afraid you're going to have to toughen up. 'Tis the apocalypse. You're gonna miss the taste of beef when all you can do is grow vegetables for the rest of your life or catch fish. Yeah, it'll be different in the next build. Access to cows. I'm sure there's a whole process of befriending a cow, putting it in the trailer, taking it back to your base, nurturing it, giving it plenty of love, and then slightly bumping it off, butchering it and cooking them up. Yeah, I wouldn't be very good at that in the apocalypse. I'd be naming all the animals. They'd all be pets. And maybe if they died of natural causes, then they would become supper. So I sort out our generator. Make sure it's topped up. Can use these scrap electronics to fix it up. Basically maintain the condition of it. Gives us a little bit of electronics XP. Fixing up the generator as well, I believe. Try and set up escape ropes sort of symmetrically over in our corners. Our extension that we're making. So if we are besieged, there's easy ways down from the next floor. Yeah, we can make a room for each skill. We've got 2 more levels of carpentry to get. We'll make sure to read the book. See if we've got any woodworking episodes that we can watch. Keep disassembling, keep working on the base, and we'll soon get there. Manage another triple day episode. He's up on the 8th of the 8th. Get into the map and score out the houses that we've completely done. Not just the kitchens of. Just work on these loose ones next. Yeah, we'll work our way through things. Want to get some more propane as well, if we can find it from barbecues and in the garages. Try and make sure that we use up all our stale food. Okay, we can sort of reform it into something else, whether it be a salad with a bowl or a stew or a soup with a big cooking pot. If you're not using the cooking pot for cooking, you can also leave them outside to catch rainwater that you can then use to water the crops. They don't mind if you give them the tainted rainwater. Yeah, somehow the water is tainted. The rainwater, the river water. So whatever caused the zombification is also in the water source. Or enough zombies have died in the rivers. It's polluted the rivers with contaminants. They're getting them picked up. Patch up a hole in our top. Can't believe there was an actual hole. Should probably trade it for a fresh new one. Yeah, all this removing and adding patches gets us up another level of tailoring. It's an easy thing to spam. Just need a bit of time. Can do it rather indefinitely. Yeah, the bigger the piece of clothing, more patches you can put on and off. Good way to kill some time. You want to use just your rags, your strips, your ripped sheets, or your denim. Don't want to use your precious leather until you're a higher level. Level 10 ideally. Tailoring, then you're given the maximum padding to your outfits. Will make you a little warmer, but by the time you've got your tailoring level up, you will be a couple of months into the apocalypse anyway. So being a little warmer with your padded clothes isn't necessarily a bad thing. And if you survive all the way through until the next summer, you'll be so awesome at combat by then, you can be just dressing to impress with whatever you want. Styling on the zombies. Not really worried about protection. Yeah, when you start trying to wear something like the fireman's outfit, you know, it's a good choice in that it'll keep you protected. It does give you a little bit of resistance to zombie attacks. Decent resistant clothing. If you steal the whole outfit and it's in good condition, doesn't already have rips in it and everything. But it does make you overheat when you start battling zombies with it. Another level in metalworking. Doing pretty well. Yeah, some days you reach the next level of a few different things. Feels like you're getting a lot done all at the same time. And other days there's all the in-betweens that you don't level up anything. Yeah, we love these cabinets. Kitchen cabinets, but they look fine anywhere really. Utility rooms or whatever, we'd still have the same sort of cabinets. And even in the store part, it's just a fancy topped version of the same sort of thing. It's a universal container. Put plenty of them into our little extensions. So our traps are far enough away that we have caught some animals. As you can see by the different animation, graphics slightly different, indicating that the trap is activated. So we've got 4 rabbits that we can butcher up. And butchering them up does give us a little bit of cooking skill as well. So make sure that we're getting all the useful stuff off the zombies before they turn into skeletons and disappear. Already got a few of them turning into skeletons. Sign you've got limited time to rip up the clothing, get any useful stuff off them. You can just sort of highlight all the clothing and drag it over to just whip it off them and leave it on the ground, so you can come back later if you wanted to. It'd be strange to roll through a ghost town that's just full of clothes that looks as though everyone's gone to the rapture. But yeah, if you wanted to come back and get some tailoring skill, ripping them all up later down the line, it's also an option. Everything's an option, just whether it's a good tactic and how long a term you intend on playing for. Yeah, survival. You don't survive very long when you start playing. Over time, your confidence grows. It's easier when you've got multi-hit on. You can take down more zombies. If you're overcome by 3 or 4 at once, you can whack at them with a broom or something. You not immediately die like you would do if you didn't have multi-hit. You can also start with the backpack and the baseball bat in the backpack. That's like sort of easy mode, you know. There's so many options in the sandbox. You can really change the difficulty to suit yourself. But again, you have to know which options to change and what to change and how to change it. And you have to decide what your preferences are, really. Yeah, it's probably the best game ever. Definitely recommend getting into it. If you enjoy games, play this game at least once. Get terrified, come back to it again. Make sure to disassemble all these dumpsters and trash cans as well. You can give us metal, as well as the garbage bags. Can't disassemble absolutely everything, but to decide on what's going to give us the most XP for our propane. It is a limited resource. We do want to finish our metal balls. Crops are seed bearing, so we're going to harvest them now to get seeds back. Does give us slightly less XP, but we've got enough to get up another level of farming. We are having a good time for leveling things up. Grab a trowel so we can dig some more furrows. Get on replacing. Just immediately replant some of the seeds. When we come to put walls in this area, we can leave space for windows, so light can still come through. So when the sun's getting low and the crops aren't missing out. And later down the line you can put a roof on it to prepare for winter. Then it'll be considered inside. Crops do still grow when they're inside, just slower. That's an option. To winter-proof your garden. Yeah, big plans for the long term. For surviving for years and years. That's how you gotta think, you gotta be optimistic. Can't be thinking there's no point in thinking about the long-term survival. So we'll get on reading our next skill book. Get the metalworking one. Yeah, always pulled in different directions. Gotta read the books to maximise your XP gain. But you don't want it to take so long that you're not going out and making any progress. You don't want to think that progress is everything. You don't want to be trying to be on some silly side mission and get distracted from the main mission of surviving. Yeah, being distracted is dangerous. Getting tired. 4:20 in the afternoon, eh? Needs a little old man snooze, perhaps. Some of those hardcore vitamins. You take out some of these bigger shelves. For more storage. In our new rooms that we're creating. In our extension. Set up another table and chair over here. Make sure it's not getting in the way of the door. We can have a computer in our little study room. All our books and our maps and stuff. That's our windows covered up. Hopefully the light will still be getting through. Just not any zombies. Back stealing another desk. It has the correct orientation. Not going to make the same mistake again. We know that we have to transplant it like for like. We pop down our computer. This feels more like a real working room. Sort of planning room. Study things, strategies. Yeah, just keep moving things around as we want. Furnish our fantastic base. We've earned it. Eat some more cold, stale food that might make him a bit unhappy. No, he's dodged it this time. Had a ciggy on standby just in case. That'll sort out his anxiety. To read his book a little bit more. He's getting pretty tired. It's not fully read yet. Take some cabbages with us. We can add the cabbage to the mouse traps, which we're not going to do. We're going to put in chocolate. Maybe if we do run out of chocolate, we can try other things. Like, it would never let you... The cheese wasn't an option, which I always thought was crazy. I thought that was the first idea that you'd be putting in the mousetrap would be cheese. I don't know, is that a myth? Do mice even like cheese? I don't know. Maybe I'm just using cartoon logic. But yeah, I'm very successful with chocolate. The mice and the rats, they love it. It can sort out unhappiness if you eat it yourself. But it's more useful trying to get you trapping XP. Yeah, I do want to level up his skills as much as possible. Without it getting in the way, basically, of him getting round the entire area that I want him to get round. And obviously not getting caught by a zombie. No more lacerations. Yeah, there's only so many times you can roll that dice. Or worse, that it's a bite next time, not a laceration. Try not to let there be a next time, without letting that stop us be adventurous and go into the scary dark buildings that we've never been into before. Aye, forever a balance trying to be achieved. Another day done. We'll get him his ciggy and his well-deserved rest, bless him. Has had a long day. Been tired since the afternoon. Wasn't allowed an old man sleep. Not allowed coffee, you know. Cruel powers that be not letting him sort himself out. He was up at 8. He did get a good sleep. It's fully light. Gonna read some more of his book. More of the books that we read before we go out and disassemble more things in the houses, the better it'll be, the more efficient we'll be. It's not bad, we've got a couple more stale things. Get some of them cooked up. Again, we just don't want any of it to go rotten. We want to try and use things up. And unfortunately, that's the way that we know it needs used up. That its condition goes from being fine to needing you to spruce it up a little bit. But yeah, we've been getting away with it. And we've got remedies. As long as we're not eating rotten food, that will make him ill and potentially bump him off. Yeah, making him bored is fine. You can just go outside and eat another one. Boredom's not the end of the world. Happiness is harder to get rid of. But we do still have plenty of sweets. That's the best thing to do. We also have some comic books. If that doesn't do it, we've got some hotties. Yeah, we've got ways and means to sort out the moodles. Yeah, touch of unhappiness. Smoking a cigarette when he doesn't really need another one. Trying to sort out the unhappiness. Wouldn't recommend that in real life, that will make you feel sick. Yeah, sort him out by hook or by crook. Get him reading until dinner time. Gonna sort of reheat the pork chops to take away some of the boredom and unhappiness, because we know they're better hot. You can pretty much only eat one. You're too full to eat another one straight away. Give him a cigarette for his pudding. Back on this book. Yeah, he's still reading away, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Time for another reheated stale pork chop that's been cooked about 5 times. Mmm. Yeah, I don't blame him for thinking it's grim. It's better than nothing. We'll try to get our harvested meat, our rodent meat and rabbit meat put away in the freezer for long term. Eat some of the other stuff first that we know will go stale before that. So he finally finishes his book. 4:10. Get that one popped away. We get back on the adventuring. Looks like all the traps have been triggered. We check all the traps. Add more cabbage. Get a leveler trap in. Yeah, we're doing well at leveling up. It's been a good episode for that. Everything ready at once. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel like you're making progress when you're in the game, but yeah, every little bit helps. You're most vulnerable and weakest right at the start, and things only get better from there. Just got to hang on in there and survive. Easier said than done, I know. Yeah, you learn the survival instincts and what not to do with the mechanics and the physics and falling off of roofs and stuff, you know. And fire. Not putting things in your microwave that shouldn't go in your microwave. Setting fire to your base. Or remembering which button is run so you can turn and run away if you absolutely have to. Got parts of furniture that have fallen out of the back of the trailer. I think when the condition of the trailer itself or the trailer's tires or wheels goes down, it drops objects occasionally. And when the furniture comes in two halves, yes, we found a random half of the furniture that went with the other half. There we go. Perfect little office setup. Can maybe get like a radio or something over here. Find one of the big ham radios. Put a lamp in here. But there's already this street light. It does come on that we can't turn off. Hoping to figure out a way to get rid of it or take the light out or something. So it doesn't unnecessarily drain the generator. I think that's sort of the way it is. Where you place your generator. If it's next to a store, I think you're invariably going to be powering a street light that you don't necessarily want to. Be welcoming for survivors to see one light on in a town and know there's someone still alive. But you'd be an easy target for the raiders. Yeah, you'd have lots to think about. Yeah, we're trying to pull another puller. These are the good vehicles for pulling things. Yeah, we knackered the black one, I think. Bumping into too many zombies. Happens. Yeah, it's not usually sort of trees or fences or things that I'm bumping into. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to thread your way through the zombies. Especially when you rile them up. They all sort of clump to where you just were in the middle of the road. And if you have to do a U-turn and come back on yourself, yeah, it's a dangerous sort of slalom. And it's a pretty scary situation if your car suddenly dies because you bumped into one zombie too many. All of a sudden just everything clunks out. And you have to make a decision, is it going to restart? Do I have to get out of the car and run before the zombies completely surround the car and hope to like push my way through them and get out of the situation, you know? Yeah, that's intense stuff. Scary. Not really what you want. So yeah, avoiding the zombies is 100% better. So I can read trap in, do want to get carpentry finished. That's medium-term plans. Yeah, I want to get everything done. More of these metal shelves for storage. Yeah, we can disassemble them, but I do love them for actual storage. We've also got these large shelves that we've got plenty of in the front of the hit vids. Yeah, I don't really rate the filing cabinets for storage. They're always easy disassemble. These low shop shelves, yeah, I wouldn't be trying to transplant any of them back to the base. Fridges and freezers, we don't really need fridge space, we just need freezer space. So really just raiding the gas stations that have those little chest freezers is the way forward. Gonna take these bar walls for our bar. Work on transplanting them to the base. Yeah, still got some more metal walls to make. We should be just about done with the bar and armory section. I want to have a lush, massive base with enough room for all of the different types of loot, all separated into different spaces. All the way nice, neat in containers. With enough room to wander around. For other survivors to join and wander around. If we've got enough time, we can make a barracks and stuff for them. Yeah, plenty of routes to go. Plenty of space to keep building out the way. Yeah, making an awesome base is a worthy side project. Get loads of XP from the actual construction itself. So it helps you either which way. Leveling up your character only makes them better. Better characters survive longer. Again, you can work on choosing different traits, different combinations of things to try and give yourself a head start. Like I always take fast learner because I'm always wanting more XP. I think you can adjust even that in the sandbox settings if you want to just naturally give yourself more XP from doing things. I think you can make that easier on yourself as well. If you wanted to see what it was like with all level 10 skills and everything. Certainly be easier to take out zombies with level 10 strength and fitness and level 10 weapon skills and whatever weapon you're using, you know. Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd certainly be less challenging. That's it, you can do what you want. One of the great things about sort of open-end sandbox games that don't really want you to complete them or play them in a linear way, you know. You can just roleplay, do what you want. Live it out how you would live it out. Trying not to eat rodent meat if I could get away with it. I'm trying to hoard all of the precious things from the before times. That'll remind me of when humanity was good and not all trying to kill me. Yeah, stale sausage, better than rodent meat, I think. Don't know, touch and go. Weight is going up, we're in the 80s, don't want to push it so far that we're getting overweight. Gotta be careful of that. Being a little bit overweight or underweight will both negatively affect your ability to fight. doing well. We've survived. We've killed a whole bunch of zombies. We've made ourselves as safe and as knowledgeable as we can be to survive the long term. Yes, it's stale sausage today, but it could be fine things tomorrow. Let him have his little bit of relaxation. Watch another episode of his programs. Albert, my boy, you've got to get that girl without losing the job. And you've got to pass at school. He's got so much going on. You're always rooting on for him. Go on, Albert, my son. Yeah, we definitely watch that if it's a real program. But most of these things would, their takes on these things are great. In-universe media is good. We'll get them sorted for bed. And we'll come back next time and pick up the adventure where we left off from. Stale sausage. A bit sad. See if a cigarette will sort him out. Bedtime treat. He's sorted. Don't want these sausages to get worse overnight. Leave them in the bag, wake up with a rotten sausage in the bed. That'd be even worse. Mooshed because you've laid on it all night because you haven't taken the backpack off. Just laying in bed. Mooshed rotten sausage. No one needs that. I think smoking cigarettes one after another will make him feel a bit sick. Even as a smoker, that's not great for you. You're chain smoking. And it's not fixed the unhappiness. There's only so much ciggies can do. The TV only sorts out boredom. Doesn't sort out unhappiness. Yeah, I'm not sure if the antidepressant pills would take away the unhappiness sort of instantly. Whether it would take time, whether it would go away overnight. It is easier to just find some sweets or something. Find the right magazine. He is getting to bed late. Hope he's not up too late in the morning. Yeah, I've just got one episode. Only got one edition of Hotties. You gotta save that for special times. Yeah, we'll come back next time, pick up where we left off from. Until then, do take it easy. And I'll see you all in the next one.